Welcome to the very first stream on this channel. I think everything's working pretty nice. I got a good setup. I'm just going to check just to make sure that everything is working and I'm actually live. And then I'll start painting the galaxy. Let's just check. Hold on. So, this is my first, not my first video I've made, but my first, my first stream, I guess. Yep. Okay, today we're going to be painting a galaxy. It is working. Let me fill this water real quick, and I will grab my colors, and we will start. Okay, I got my water. Alright, it's about half full. This is a pretty big cup. I won't be able to look at the screen while I'm doing this, so I might miss chat at times. I'll just start with this. It's going to be sort of a tutorial, but keep this cup right there. Today we're going to be don't mind that. Today we're going to be using this canvas by Artist Loft, not sponsored or anything, it's pretty good canvas. I haven't opened this pack yet, so it comes with two, and this is pretty nice. This was about if you want to paint it, if you wanted this same canvas, it's a pretty nice size to. This is one that I did earlier on this size. Today I'm just going to paint one planet, and let's get the colors. We're going to use acrylic paint for this. I have a bunch of it, and it's nice. So I do have a lot of different colors. The two ones that you do need for this project, they're not required, but they're like black, white. That is the background and the stars. So, for the planets, I like to do complementary colors. Like, a planet would look nice with these three colors, but maybe a little weird with, this might go together, but some colors don't mix together. So, some colors, I like, one of my favorites were, I put white in pretty much all of them. I really like the first one that I did, which I just showed you. I lost it. Oh, it's on the ground. I really like these colors. This is blue, and this, if you want the same color, it is Brezzo 11144 Heather, or I think it's Heather. It's acrylic craft paint by Anidas or something. And then this was the other color, same brand, Twilight Blue. That's a really nice combination. Also, this same purple and also Christmas green and True Red and orange. Also, yellow this is a bright yellow. This is actually nice with those two, too. Also. So, today we're going to be doing just a simple, probably like a big planet with this canvas. And the colors we're going to be using are let's go Christmas. Let's go red and green. I know Christmas passed, but like, what's a New Year color then? It's fine. Let's do red and green. These are nice colors to go together. I think I'll stand while I do this. So here's your cup of water. This is what you need. Acrylic paint. It doesn't matter what the planet is, but your acrylics for your stars, you can use other colors, but white is the best, in my opinion, and black. I'll show you how to get these nice variations. It's not that hard. How to get those nice, like, different kinds of stars. The black is the background. You can also buy black canvas to save you some time, and that's a more black, as you could see if you look closely. There are, you could see like the background white canvas. Since it's like this, it's like in real life it looks a lot different, but some spots on here are a little bit more faded than if you bought a black canvas. Would be pure black. Now my brushes. This is a number 2 Artist Loft, very thin brush. This is just to use to outline so I don't make a mistake. And this is a, here we go. If it focuses, alright, this is 47 hundredths and a half. And you could read the rest. Get the same brush if you want. If you go to like your local craft shop, all this stuff will be there. It's pretty cheap. I got 25 of the, well, not these brushes, but like variety pack. There's like small brushes, big brushes, a lot. Also paint scrapers for oil paints. They're like $6. Okay, so to start, I don't put water on my brush. I did wet it and then dry it to soften it up so that it works better. I like, just like eyeball it. I put it around the whole outside and on the canvas, so it, when you hang it on the wall, it looks a lot nicer. So when you do this, you're just going to do some strokes, like, try to cover the whole thing. You can get more if you run out, but a little bit goes a long way. I mean, probably will be able to do this whole, almost the whole front with just that bit. Because it does spread a lot. So, if it does look a little bit, see, I need a little more. But if it does look a little bit lighter and darker in certain spots, that's okay. You don't have to add more. So I'm adding more because I'm out. But after this dries, it looks a lot different than when the paint is wet. So you don't have to go over with more than one layer if you don't want to. If you do make a mistake, it's really nice. You can go over with black and this stuff dries really quickly. While I'm doing the edges, usually the top coat of this part dries. And I just do the whole thing while I'm at it. Usually, actually, let me grab something real quick. Usually, I put a scrap piece of paper background behind it so I don't mess up my desk. I forgot to do that. Just scrap paper, notebook paper, anything, printer paper. This is just so you don't make a mess on your desk. You see I have paint on me now. If I did that earlier, I wouldn't, but it's fine. So now I could do it where this is what I do. Put a little bit on the brush. A nice amount. It's like, see that? Now you go around the edges and you sort of like add as you need. So you want to get all the white off the edges. Obviously, the back doesn't matter, but, I mean, if you really want to, go ahead. You want to make the whole thing black. So, when you run out of paint, usually you can, like, scrape a little bit and get it on the sides like this. Get some off the top. You could see the paint's not dry, so you could see there's little, like, spots that are a little darker, some spots a little lighter. Also, a cool look, if you do this a different way, you can make a faded sort of side. It sort of looks old. That's a technique you can use if you want to make something look old. Usually use a brown. It looks like wood. Oh, if you detail it like I could try. We're running low. I've done a couple of these. So far, successfully. Actually, I haven't had a fail on one of these yet. I had almost one fail. I decided to try a new star design by, like, using the edge of the paintbrush and making it like this, like a T shape. That did not work. It looked bad. An easy way to get around the edges is just, I won't flip it, but tuck your fingers like this. Don't really press on the canvas, but touch it. Use your fingers against the wood mainly, and you can hold it up easily without putting, like, stress on the canvas, so you don't risk breaking it. After you do, I'll just quickly finish up this last side while I talk. After you do this, you want to get the rest of your colors ready. I don't use a palette for this. When I do these, I just go straight onto the canvas, so I'll show you. Basically, I mean, you could probably, if you are starting painting and, you know, like, with acrylics, and this is pretty easy for a first time thing, so, like, one of my first videos, that's why. It's very easy, like, beginner thing. I also cover more advanced, like, things during these videos. I'll try to dry this off a little bit by spreading the wet paint around. It'll also, like, cover a little bit more of the drier spots. Well, I actually did realize something. I did miss a step, but it's fine. Most likely, the colors I chose will cover up black. If not, it'll just, like, go around. So, I wouldn't really recommend. I did miss a step. Sorry, I did miss a step. I would watch this video before. I'll try to put that in the title or something. Since most of the paint is here and there's nothing to cover, you can, like, lightly dab off a little bit extra. There isn't that much, but if you do this, it'll the drying time will speed up a bit. That's just for just if you want to in a rush, but it's also a good way to just start drawing the first layer. Since I did mess up, usually what you want to do is grab your object circle. I use an object. You could freehand it if you're skilled at freehanding. Grab your object, place it on, trace around it with a pencil, and then try to avoid as best as you can when you color the black in. I did mess that up. Hopefully this turns out fine. It probably will. But if it does, you can go over with white, let it dry, and then go back over with your colors. You could just keep adding layers until you're happy with it. So if you do mess up, let it dry, go back over with white, so it erases it basically, and then in the area you want, and then go over with your new colors and do what I'm about to do. I'll let it dry. I'll try to dry. You could see it's starting to dry up. You do not need the black anymore unless you need to touch up something. If you go out of your area. So I do need some sort of, like, background thing. I could try to freehand a circle. I do use the same brush. I'll clean it out my water a little bit, just a little. Wipe it on the bottom, swirl it around. I do need some. A good way, just, I'll grab a couple. I have Kleenex here. I do not have paper towel, but so you want to get pretty much all of it because you're going to be using white with this paintbrush. I do have more paintbrushes. They're not here right now. It'll take a little while to get, but I have that pack of 25 I was talking about. That's where I got this. But this is a beginner thing. If you do only have 2 paintbrushes, then you could actually only use one. It'll just take a little bit, depending on which one you're using. It could take a longer or shorter time. If you use one of these are really nice. So these have like a tip, and if you can tell, they're angled down, so they're like that. So they're really good for, like, if you want to do a little bit of details. They're also good for space. If you need to, like, draw out do like what I just did. If you want to color a big space at once. So if I put my finger across, nothing. Couple spots are a little wet, but nothing coming off. So we can move on to the next step, which I will try to shape it. I don't really have a limit right now. Try not to put too much, but don't put too little, because these are going to look pretty cool. So they don't have to be in a specific spot at all. They can droop around. They can do this. That's sort of the fun part. They all look different. Every single one will look different. You can't avoid it. So whatever you do, then I gotta clean this a bit. Add a little bit of white. That's the only thing that looks the same most of mine. I add the white on the right side. I think it looks better, but it doesn't really matter. Now you just want to, like, swirl them together. Now I gotta create my outline here. Since I didn't do that before. You can also always add more. That's a pretty good circle. You could see I do need more color to cover the black. I'll spread the red a little bit. I'll leave the white for a second. Also, the good thing with this, you can add blotches of color. Like, you can put a lot of color on here and not spread it out much. I accidentally did that, but I need more red now. I'll make this a big planet. It doesn't really matter, just go in with it. After you're done, this doesn't have to be a, like, perfect, smooth planet. You can have bumps, you can have, like, the color can be going out of the page, sort of like popping out at you, and this paint will dry with that like that, and it doesn't really take long. Leave it overnight. You don't have to. It does dry pretty quick. The black is already dried. I did put a pretty thick coat on there. Now I'll move around the white and mix it up with the red, and I try to keep it on this one side. Some of it turns pink, some of it stays white. Then use the edge of the brush and like swirl this stuff around so more than one color goes around. Now you can redo. I'm redoing my outline because, like I said, I did make that mistake. So I'll put a little white in some spots, grab a little more colors. And there we go. So this is what it looks like. It did sort of turn brown. That looks pretty nice. It's not a perfect circle, like, that's a nice circle. This is not outlined, I freehanded, but still looks nice. You do get a little messy. The good thing with acrylics is they do not stick to you really well. Like, this stuff is dry on my hand, but watch. It's pretty much gone. And one time, even though all this stuff is dry, it's like that, sometimes they pick off. Even though it's dry, as soon as you go to the sink, and you don't even have to scrub, you don't use a little bit, you use a little bit of soap, and while you're washing your brushes, it goes right off. I just wipe off the water because it waters down the acrylics. Now my favorite part. This does get your fingers, like your whole finger, white, but it's worth it because it looks really nice. Also, try to find your orientation. I think sideways is it because I did that sideways, but I like it in the corner. That's how I'd mainly do it. Right now, you'll throw this piece of paper away. It has like stuff, unless you keep it dry, not touch anything. Grab your white and just rub a little, like put it on the brush so it's like this. See, there's a layer, but it's not thick. Then just, yeah, you have to take your finger and do this. You can also hit it, but it does leave bigger chunks. So the less paint, the smaller the stars. If I add a little bit more paint, I can start to add a little bit bigger stars. I think I'll need to grab a little more paint from the bottle. So right now I have like my base layer of stars. This acrylic's already dried onto my fingers, but grab a little bit more. This does spray a little bit around, so cautious of that. If you don't want to get paint on your stuff like I always do. So now I have like a glob of paint on here. I'll wipe a little off. It's a little too much. I like a lot of stars. It looks nice with some more stars. A lot of people don't really know how to do this. You can also, like, I'm going to experiment with it, but using more than one colors as the stars will be like a galaxy effect. So probably another idea if you want to. If you don't want to plan it, color it black. add very light amount of white stars. Then grab all your colors, whatever you want, and start flicking different colors like I was just doing with the white. Start doing that with all the colors, and you'll get like this Milky Way galaxy thing without any planets. If you don't want to draw, or you can't draw circles or something. So this is the finished planet. Just set it out. I'll just set it right on my table. It'll take like one night to dry, and you'll be good. We'll also move on to another. We'll do our last one too. That idea I was just talking to you about. I've never actually tried it before, so we'll do 2 in this video. Let's see. I don't know what colors we should use. I didn't use this thin paintbrush yet. I sort of, because I messed up, but it's fine. I don't need it. Now, same thing, you need your black now. This time, let me wash this off more. Now, you do want to be careful, like, when you wash these. Seems weird to be careful when you wash, but sometimes if you splash it too much, and it doesn't even look like it. Sometimes if you rock it around too much, you can get drops that just go everywhere. I'll use a little extra black. I'll sort of space it out. I'm sort of running low on this. I'll buy more. It's not technically my black, borrowing it from my dad, but I'll get some. I don't know why we don't have any. Oh. So, if I didn't mention already, all these materials, they're not really expensive. Just depends on which ones you get. Like, as a beginner, I would recommend a pack of these Artist Loft brushes. If you go to, I don't know if the thing is still on, deal. There was a sale like a couple days ago. If you go to, I gotta think of the place. Well, if you go there, there's a pack of 25 brushes plus scrapers to put paint from oil paints. It comes in that pack. It's like $6 for a ton of brushes. There's a ton of brushes in that pack. It was like $5 or $6. 25 brushes plus all the other stuff. I'm not sponsored or anything, but it's just really good. And they're nice brushes too. Okay, so I just did this pretty quickly. It's actually, I might do that from now on. I do have to go get more canvases now, so the next stream or video I do will not be of making planets, but I will do that also in the future. Most likely will be like, you probably should like pull up your sleeves too. Take off your bracelets or whatever. I don't want to get paint on my clothes. I should have done that before, but oh well. It does take a while to get off the paint, and especially because it's black, but alright, I got some time. Anyways, after you clean your brush, there, I'd like to just do this a little bit and make the bristles like spread a bit. Now you can go in. I'm gonna grab a couple more colors. Not these. I'll go with this blue, this blue, this blue, and purple. Seems like a galaxy kind of combination, right? And white. I do have white out already, actually. So, for this method, I'm thinking, I've never done this. I'm thinking, if you're doing this along with me, use this for now. Ooh, it doesn't want to focus. It's just a thin layer. Because when you do this, you'll get very thin, like, background of stars. Because you don't want the white to, like, cover up your colors. It won't cover them, but it'll be like... You don't want too much white. You don't want too big stars of white. I fill the background. My background is pretty much full of white. So after you clean it again, like this is not the most thorough cleaning. I'm just wiping the majority of it off. These three blues, I will just keep. Ooh, I got some on the desk. It's fine. These three blues I won't wash every time. Since they're really similar, it won't really do anything. Actually, these four blues. I just put the same color down twice. Okay. That was an accident. It's fine. So, let's start with light blue. Grab a little bit, sort of wash it by... I mean, not wash, but like... Okay, I need a little bit more for this. It's very simple to do this. If you just get your hands a little bit, like... I'll move on to the slightly darker. If you really wanted to, you could sell these. Like, they're pretty good. I'm gonna go a little bit more of this kind of blue, but... I will wash it now because... my finger a little bit. I'm going to now move on to the dark blue, which... Now I have a lot of other blues, so... Oh, I shouldn't have put my hand in there. It's easy, just dry it off. Not on my pants. Pretty nice pants. Well, I washed it off a lot easier with my hands. Go into the final blue. So I'm putting like chunks of it on. Now I'll go back. So if you add more and aggressively like you'll end up with these nice like splotches of stuff. Good way to clean this is like whirlpool and then reverse. Okay. Let's add a little bit of purple on the side. My brush is now very colorful. Okay. on those like splotches of color over here. But I should add more pink around. Okay, now I'm going to sort of mix a little bit. I'm going to mix this purple, add a little bit of blue. Add a little bit of dark blue. A little bit more white. Got a little bit of this nice pink. A little bit lighter pink. And I'm going to say that's pretty good. Maybe I'll quickly add a little bit of white. And then, like, big white. Now I got a little bit of every color there that I used. So this is stuck. Alright. Finished. Leave it to dry with the other one. I really like how this one turned out. And it'll take even less time than the others. Now grab your, preferably paper towel, but I had tissue paper. It's fine. You can easily, like I made a little mess around my spot. Easily you can clean that up by just a little bit of water and a cloth or paper towel or something, and it will come off easily. I'm just gonna throw all these back up on my shelf. Okay. So that's my tutorial of today. I didn't use this brush, but it'll come in handy a different time. I'll do another one tomorrow if I have time, hopefully. And it'll be drawing, I think. I don't really know. We'll see. Well, I'll see you guys all next time. Hope you enjoyed the painting and mess. I gotta clean up now. I'll see you guys all next time, and have a good day. Oops. Alright, goodbye, everybody.